Always on air, online, on mobile. Fox Toledo News at 10 starts right now.
Wind, ice, and snow. Round 2 of the winter storm is taking aim on northwest Ohio. Here's a live look on the Fox Toledo Skycam. Summit and Cherry right now is getting the heaviest snow we have seen tonight, and you can see it blowing around as well. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sean Hegarty.
And I'm Laura Emerson. It's pretty ugly out there. One of the largest winter storms in recent memory has now arrived. Several inches of snow and ice are going to fall in the next few hours. Let's head right over to Chief Meteorologist Doug Moats in the Storm Tracker Weather Lab with a look at your first forecast.
Well, one of the things that's been happening with this storm, which we started to see take shape earlier this evening, was the ice mixing in. And while it's reading mostly as snow on your Doppler Max radar, there is that sleet, primarily sleet, that is mixing in with the snow and falling at its heaviest intensity right now. Also, another thing to note on this is that there is a little bit of a dry slot building in to the south, and I'm going to show you that because what that will mean is will change the dynamic of this particular weather system during this overnight hours, during these overnight hours, and as a result of that, that means that we'll continue to see maybe snow start to taper off a little bit tonight, and that is some good news. Maybe the heavier snowfall totals that we talked about earlier, not going to be the case now. Now let's talk about the winds, though. As you saw in that camera image, that camera blowing all around as a result of these gusty winds blowing out of the northeast with wind gusts exceeding 35 miles per hour. I actually have a report here of a 50-mile-an-hour wind gust recorded at the Sandusky Yacht Club over in Erie County. That's going to lead to widespread blowing and drifting of snow, and because of that, we do have a blizzard warning that's in effect for the counties you see shaded in orange. That will remain in effect until tomorrow evening. In addition to that, we also have a winter storm warning in effect for the remaining part of our viewing area. Over the southern parts, we are also dealing with some freezing rain in areas like Fostoria and Wayne, Ohio. There has been reports of steady freezing rain. That may result in some power outages if that freezing rain accumulates on power lines. Of course, we'll keep you posted on that. There's a look at your temperatures right now. Overnight tonight, we'll continue to see snow blowing. Also that wintry mix, especially to the south. We'll also have wind chill values below zero overnight tonight and for tomorrow. Much more on this storm coming up a little bit later in the show.
All right. Thank you, Doug. ODOT, meantime, working around the clock to clear those roads. But with this ice coming down, how are drivers dealing with the storm? Fox Toledo, Sharia Davis is live in Wood County with a look at road conditions. Sharia?
Yeah, it's coming down pretty hard out here right now. We're live in Rossford off of 795. If you take a look behind me, you can see the turnpike. It doesn't look like a lot of activity is going on right now, just mainly trucks and snowplows passing through. I'm told snowplows will be out here all night. Now, if you take a look to my other direction, mainly the same thing. Trucks are on I-75. We're basically, that could change in a few hours. It looks clear, but the snow is coming down pretty hard. And, you know, the roads, they were clear earlier when we came out here, but that can definitely change in a few hours or so. But one thing I noticed, vehicles are really taking it slow on the highways, especially with the icy roads, which is just one of the many challenges we will face tonight.
One of the biggest challenges that we'll have with tonight is going to be the possibility of more blowing and drifting and also heavy accumulation, heavy snowfall. And when that happens, we have reduced visibility, and that can make things not only treacherous for the traveling public, but our drivers as well.
Now, Wood County is under a level 2 snow emergency. That means travel if you absolutely have to. And coming up later in the show, we spoke to Sheriff Mark Vasilichin, who's going to talk a little bit about driving safe on some of these country roads out here in the area. Reporting live in Wood County, Sharia Davis, Fox Toledo News.
And wind is whipping out there, Sharia. Thanks very much. Well, the streets in Toledo aren't looking much better tonight. Fox Toledo's Heather Miller is on the scene in downtown Toledo with the conditions there.
Well, right now, I'm not sure if you can catch it on camera, but we do have ice falling in downtown Toledo, and as it hits any exposed skin, it doesn't feel very well, so you can imagine what that's doing to city streets right now. As you can see along Summit Street, things are snow-covered out here, and trust me, the short distance we drove, it's very slippery. We kind of slid around a corner. You can see there aren't very many cars traveling out here right now at this hour, and those that are taking it a little slower, everybody's taking their time as they get around, which is probably the best advice as you're traveling around the city of Toledo tonight. These city streets, once again, are snow-covered. Now, you also want to remember, if you go out tonight, that Toledo Police police are currently operating under a phase 2, which means they are responding only to injury accidents. And also one more thing the city wants to remind you about, that is sidewalks. Right now, as far as the city is concerned, you have 24 hours after a snowfall to get those cleared up. You need to get those shoveled within 24 hours. That's according to Toledo Municipal Code. And if you don't, it could result in a misdemeanor. But right now, outside here in downtown Toledo along Summit Street, there's ice falling. The roads are snow-covered and slippery. My advice for you, just stay in tonight. Reporting on the scene in downtown Toledo, Heather Miller, Fox Toledo News.
All the snow and ice are creating some hazardous road conditions. Several counties are under snow emergencies tonight. At this point, only Seneca County is under level 1, which means roads are slippery and you'll want to certainly drive carefully. The following counties, virtually everyone else is under a level 2. We're talking about Lucas, Wood, Hancock, Ottawa, Fulton, Defiance, Williams, Henry, Sandusky, Putnam, and Huron. That means the roads are hazardous. You'll find blowing and drifting snow. Only those who feel it is necessary to drive should be on those roadways.
Now let's take a look at how this storm is appearing through your camera lens. Check out these pictures that viewers have framed and forwarded. We start in Liberty Benton with a car trudging through hard falling snow. Check out a 4-year-old, Courtney Nunn, helping out with the shoveling on Inwood Drive. Next we head to Curtis, where a snowdrift prevented this driver from going any farther. And no one will be playing with this toy anytime soon because it's buried in about 10 to 14 inches of snow. Finally, here's a good look at the blowing and drifting snow in Findlay today. Well, we still want to see what's happening where you are. You can get out your digital camera, frame your picture, forward it to news@foxtoledo.com. Your photos could still be featured on Fox Toledo on air or online.
And with this winter storm, there have been many closings and cancellations. Already, several schools have decided not to have class tomorrow, which includes TPS. For those school closings and all the rest of the cancellations, you want to go to foxtoledo.com. The link is right there on the top of the home page. Just go ahead and click that, and you will see the entire list.
Of course, you will want to stay with Fox Toledo for the latest on this winter storm. Chief Meteorologist Doug Moats and weathercasters Bruce Slusher and Larry Watley are going to be here around the clock in shifts tracking the path of this storm. We will also bring you updates on foxtoledo.com and on your mobile device.